Hello, hello. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Quizlet, which is for flashcards. You can use these cards to review grammar, vocabulary, and other information that you learn in the class. So let me show you what each of these buttons does. So when you click on the link that I give you to review, say, for example, vocabulary here, graffiti makes him see red from our reading. It will open and automatically open on this smaller, reduced flashcard site. Now, if you want the cards to stay this size, that's fine. But if you'd like to see them take up the whole screen, you would just click on the flashcards button. So I'm going to go over this one first. You can see we have quite a few buttons here that you can click on. But this top part, these first 5 buttons go under study. So these are ones that you can use to practice, to study. The ones at the bottom are used to play. These 3 down here, you can play a couple of games on your own. And then this bottom game, the live game, is the one that we have played in class together where you compete against your classmates. So let's start at the top with the flashcards. So again, you can actually start practicing on this screen, but in order to make them bigger, you're just going to click on flashcards and you can see that it has made it a lot bigger. And now you have some options on the side. So the first thing I want you to notice is that it has a progress button up here at the top. This will show you this big number here, the 20, that's how many flashcards there are. Then the number before that, that's how many you have reviewed. So it will show your progress and this button will move across. This line will move across to the end when you finish. You can click here on play and the flashcards will advance or turn automatically. It'll play like a video. Otherwise, you can click one of these buttons down at the bottom to go to the previous card or down here to go to the next card. Shuffle just shuffles the order in case you've studied them and kind of know what's coming. So shuffle will change the order of the cards. And then down here where it says options, this gives you a couple of different ways that you can look at the cards. So let's click on options here. You can see here you have a study starred at the top. You either have all or starred. If you put a star on a card, and I'm just going to go out so you can see what I'm talking about. Do you see here where there's a star? You can click on it and then you will study it separately. So if you go through the cards and find that there are some that you are having trouble with, if you click star, then you can study those cards by themselves. So here, we're going to go back down to options. We want to study all of them right now, not just the ones that are starred. Then you can have the audio option. Some have audio. So if you want to have it where you can hear, then you would click here. We're going to leave it off for now because I don't believe there are any audio options for these. If there were, you could click here and it says show advanced audio. Because we turned it off, we don't have any options here. If you have audio, and I will show you on the next set, you can actually change down here whether you have the audio read normally or at a slower pace. So you can actually change how fast the audio is. But we're going to leave that alone for now because we don't have audio. You can go up here and you can change the way that you look at the cards. You can either start with, say, the word, such as, book, and then you would have to answer with a definition. You would start with the term and then answer with a definition. So this is asking you, what do you want to answer with? What we want with this one is we want to be given, you want to see the long definition, the long explanation, and then you answer with the short term or the short word or vocabulary word. So we're going to leave it this way for now. If you go in and make changes after you start, you can click here and start over from the beginning. So let's just click start over from the beginning. And you'll see that now it has opened the cards. We've already made our changes. You will not have this edit button. I have it because I created the cards. You will not see that. You will only see the audio to turn it on or and then of course to star it if you need to study that one separately. And I'm actually going to, because it is reading the definition, let's just go ahead and turn the audio on, and let's make it where it's giving everything in a slower pace. And so the term and the definition are on. So your vocabulary word is on and the definition. And we're going to start over. So you can hear her saying to become very angry. And so you have to think, what is our vocabulary word? All you have to do is click anywhere on the card and flip it over and give you the term see read. You also, it tells you here, if you click on the card, you just see the definition again, and you can also hear it. So I mentioned if you go down here, you can click this arrow, it will go to the next card. And it is automatically playing that audio. If you say, oh, I don't want to hear it, just click here. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, you can't turn it off there. You're going to have to go back to options and turn off the audio. Okay, so you would not be able to change it off there. So we've turned off the audio, so it won't play automatically. So if we go to the next card, we won't hear it. And again, you just click anywhere in order to find out the term or the vocabulary word that you are studying. And you can see over here, we're on word 3 out of 20. Now, if you say, oh, I just want it to go and I don't want to have to click every time, you just click play. Turns yellow, and now it's going to automatically go. So it says everywhere, and the term is all over the place. Then it goes to the next one. Put an end to something, do away with something. You cannot control how fast this is going. So if this is going too fast for you, you're going to turn it off and do it yourself. You're going to turn it off and do it yourself. That way you can advance and go to the next one as slowly as you need to whenever you get ready. Okay, so that's it for the flashcards. We're going to hit back up here, and now we go back to our other study options. The second study option is learn. Now when you click on learn, you'll see here that all of a sudden you have multiple choices. So you are looking at this to get very angry, lose one's temper, and then you are going to look at these choices and decide what the right answer is. Now watch carefully. If you click on the right answer, it will turn green very quickly and then go to the next slide. See, it tells you correct and you move on. Now suppose here I click the wrong one. If I click here, it tells you, uh-oh, study this one. And then it gives you the correct answer here. I'm sorry about the mouse. That's the last straw. And then you can come over here if you need to hear how to pronounce it. You can click on it. And then it even tells you what you said. It says you picked get the upper hand. Then it tells you here, press any key to continue. So we'll just press a key. And then it moves on. What will happen is it will go back and play that one again for you, so that way you can have another chance to answer it. It is also keeping track of how many you've done. It tells you that 3 you are familiar with, 0 that you've known well. So that means you've answered it twice. If you answer correctly 2 times, it will show down here that you know that term well. And then it shows you you have 17 remaining. You can also go down to options and you have some of the same choices. You can star something if you need to really study it. The grading options, so this one is just showing the exact answer. That one does not apply, so you can ignore the grading options. And then you can change whether you answer with the vocabulary word or with the definition. Again, I would answer with the term. If you have a long definition, it's better to see the long definition and guess the word or the couple of words instead. And then down here, it gives you the types of questions that you can have. So you have multiple choice, and you can also have written questions on here or the flashcards. And you can turn the audio off here if you want. So let's say we're going to start over, and it'll say that no, you're going to not review the things you missed, but say, yeah, I just want to restart. So we'll click start, and it's funny, it goes to start from the beginning. And so then you click your answer. If you get it correctly, it turns green. If you get it wrong, remember, it will tell you to study it. Okay, going back to our set page, which is all the ones about the vocabulary, graffiti makes him see red. We've done flashcards and learn, which was mostly multiple choice. Then we have write. If you go to write, you will see now that you actually have to type the answer. So here we go to our options. Again, we want to answer with the term, otherwise you have to write this long definition. The exact answer is for the grading. And so you can change that to one answer if you want, instead of having to have it exactly. You can have the audio on if you want. And then again, you have the option to study the starred. So let's start over and see what happens here. So we have our 20 remaining. We have 0 incorrect and 0 correct. We're going to type our answer. So to get the power or advantage, we're going to say get the upper hand, and then you can either click answer or hit enter on your computer. If we hit answer, it turned correct so fast and turned green you don't see it, but you know you got it right if it goes to the next one. Then we have a set of metal rings, right? So let's say we put the wrong thing. Let's say we put in lose one's cool instead of handcuffs, and we hit enter. It tells us, like in the previous exercise, study this one. It gives us what the definition was and tell us what we said. So you said lose one's cool, but the correct answer was handcuffs. You can even override it. If you just misspelled it or something, you can override and say I was correct. If not, and then you also have the option to play the audio. But if you don't want to override it, you press any key to continue, and it will give you this one later to see if you can guess it correctly. And that's how you would go on this one. You also have the option to click I don't know. And if you don't know, it will give you the correct answer here, but it makes you type it before you can continue. So this is a good way to study. You say, I don't know, it gives you the answer. You type it, kind of thinking about it at the time as you type it, and then it will give it to you again later to see if you remember the answer. Okay, going back from the right, we have the next one under study, which is spell. So now with spell, this is a listening activity. So it does give you what the definition is, that someone should have or receive something because of their actions or qualities. And if you say, I don't remember what that is, you click here and it tells you the answer is deserve. But if for some reason when you hear it, you still don't understand, you can skip it. If you hear it, you type it, you click enter. It will turn green on the first circle here and go to the next one. If for some reason you type the wrong answer and hit enter, it will turn red and then correct your spelling and give you the correct answer. And then it will make you type it again for practice. You can see that. Now we hit enter. Now it's okay. So it will move on to the next audio one. You can go in and change your options, of course, on all of these. We can practice just the start. Again, you want to answer with the term, not with that long definition. It's already got it here for one answer instead of the exact one in case you miss a word. And then we have the audio on because this is a listening. And then we could start over. So we hear brand new. So what if you spell it like this, brand new, and hit enter? It says no. And so it not only gives you the spelling, but it spells it out loud so you can hear it. And then it makes you type it again for practice and hit enter. Okay, so that's your spelling. The final thing on the study side is an actual test. So if you click test, you have the options to create the types of questions you want. So for this one, it has 20 multiple choice questions. So you can see here, number one, it has the definition, my patience has run out, or I'm at my limit. You have the picture, and then you decide from these what it is. And this would be for all of them. So you can take it this way if you like, or you can go here and print the test out if for some reason you want to print it, or you click options. Now you can choose your question types. You can choose written where you type your answer. You can choose a matching. We can click a matching and it will add those types of questions. You can also do true or false. You can show the images or take the images out. You could do where you only study the ones that you starred earlier to practice those. And you can change whether you start with the term or the definition, but you want to answer again with the term here instead of that longer definition. If you are studying, say, irregular verbs, you could start with, say, the past tense, for example, ate, and then you have to guess that the present tense is eat. So with verbs, it would be different. But if you have a long definition, then you want to answer with the term. Then you can click here for show advanced options. And it just gives you the option to start with either the term or the definition. So we have both checks so that way you get a variety. Once you've clicked everything, you go up here and create a new test with your new selections. So you click new test. Now we have 7 multiple choice questions. So we have an aggressive and violent young criminal, and then you pick from these choices, right? After your 7 multiple choice, you have 7 matching questions. So now you're going to look over here and decide which letter goes on the line. And you're going to put, say, A, and then whatever else you're going to put for these matching ones. Then you're going to go down, and now it's given you 6 true or false questions. So it says to catch someone in the act of doing something wrong means, that's what the arrow is, means you can't stand someone. Is that true or false? No, that's false. Right? Or to get the power or advantage, is that to get the upper hand? Yes, so you would click true. Once you answer all the questions, you click here, check answers. And if you got it right, it will give you the green light here. On these, it's actually, I'm sorry, check answers is going through and giving you all the correct answers here. If you get them wrong, then it gives you a red X for all of that. So unfortunately, my grade is only 15% of the correct answers there. But the good thing is you can take it over and over. You can click here to create a new test and start all over again to test yourself. Okay, and now we have done all of our studying, and we want to do something that is maybe a little fun where you're not thinking so much about really studying in a formal way. This is more informal. So you can go to the first one under play, and it's a match. This one you want to make everything disappear. This is a game called concentration, where you have to match things. So you're matching the term with the definition. You're going to click start, and it gives you the definition with the picture and then the term. You can see that when I hover over the term or the definition, it gives me this cross. What you want to do is drag. So you see the word punk, you're going to hover over it and you're going to drag it to what you believe is the correct term and then let go. If they disappear, you're correct. They turn green. Now, if you go here, say to demoralizing, and you click here, if it's wrong, it's going to kick it back out. And that's it. And you just keep going. The time is ticking over here, so you can try to beat your fastest time if you want. You can go down here to your options, and you can do where you only study the ones that you starred in the flashcards. Finally, you have Gravity. Gravity is a game kind of like Asteroids or what's the other one? Maybe Centipede, Galaga. Can't think of the other one that people played years ago when I was growing up. This was a popular video game, ones that were like this. So you click Get Started, and you're going to try to protect the planets, which are down here, from incoming asteroids, from these things. And you'll see that the terms or the definitions will be listed on the asteroids, and you have to answer with the correct term. So you can select your difficulty. Easy means they will come down slowly, so you have a lot of time to type your answer. Medium is a little harder. I'm going to click hard so they come quickly. You can show the grading options here, where it shows here as long as at least one answer is provided or whatever. We're just going to leave it alone. You want to answer again here with the term, not that long definition, especially for this game. So we're going to click Let's Go. It tells you to watch out for red asteroids. If they're red and you miss the term twice, so you type the wrong answer twice, they will destroy your planet. All right, let's click Start. You can see you type your answer in this box. So we have to catch someone in the act of doing wrong. And I'm just going to type in the wrong thing so you can see what happens. Look how quickly they're coming. So when this hits, I'm just going to keep hitting the wrong answers. So then it will show you, once that gray one hit the planet, it will give you the correct answer. To catch someone in the act of doing something wrong is to catch someone red-handed. Then if you click anywhere, it will start over again. I don't know if I have to type it in. Oh, restart, I'm sorry. You go over here and click Restart. Get started. I think I'm going to make it medium so it's not so fast, right? Click Let's Go, start the game. And now we have the first one that someone should receive. So we're going to say deserve, hit enter, and it disappears because that answer is correct. My patience has run out. I'm going to put the wrong thing. I'm going to keep hitting the wrong thing, keep hitting the wrong thing. When it reaches the planet, it's going to give me the correct answer here. And it is going a little slowly to give me a lot of time. And so now it tells me that's the last straw. So those are all of the options that you have for Quizlet. You can study with flashcards. You can do multiple choice and writing with learning them, with listening prompts. Same thing with write. You hear the term and you would write it. Or you don't have to have the audio, but with that one, you have to actually write out what the term is. For spell, it's strictly listening and you typing what you hear. And then if you practice with the matching or the gravity game we just played, at the end you can test yourself and you can do it over and over. And then of course live is the game that we always play in class, where you play with your classmates. Okay, I hope you find this video useful for when you study in Quizlet. Have a good one.